Stop! Don't uproot them. The surprising power of tomato roots and cabbage stalks you never knew. Stop! Don't uproot them. The surprising power of tomato roots and cabbage stalks you never knew. When the season ends and you've harvested your last tomato or cut your final cabbage, the instinct is always the same. Rip it all out. Clean beds, fresh start, new season. But what if I told you that by pulling those roots and stalks, you're actually throwing away some of the best natural tools you have for building soil fertility? The truth is, tomato roots and cabbage stalks are more than leftovers. They are powerhouses that can transform your soil if you let them. So before you grab that spade and start yanking, let's talk about why leaving them in place may be one of the best gardening hacks you've never tried. Tomato roots continue feeding the soil even after harvest. Those roots are dense with organic material and packed with fine networks that feed your soil life long after the harvest is over. As they decompose, they provide a slow trickle of nutrients, especially carbon compounds, directly to microbes and fungi in the root zone. That steady release helps maintain fertility in the very spot where you'll plant next season's crops. The bonus here is structure. Those roots leave behind tiny channels in the soil that improve airflow and water movement. Pulling them out collapses those pathways, but leaving them in place keeps the soil porous and alive. It's a simple act of working with nature rather than against it. Cabbage stalks are natural soil builders, not waste. If you've ever tried to pull a cabbage stalk, you know how stubborn they are. Thick, fibrous, and seemingly locked into the earth. Many gardeners see them as a nuisance. But, that toughness is exactly what makes them valuable. When cut at the base and left to break down in the soil, cabbage stalks become a slow-release soil conditioner. Over time, those stalks soften, drawing in earthworms that chew through them and deposit castings right where your crops need them most. The stalks also create air pockets as they decay, improving drainage and water retention. Instead of battling them with brute force, let the soil organisms do the work for you. They'll turn that so-called waste into future fertility. Here's something most gardeners overlook. Every plant root is a natural tiller. Tomatoes carve out fine webs of channels, while cabbages drill deep, thicker holes into the soil. These channels become permanent highways for water, oxygen, and beneficial organisms. When you rip those plants out, you collapse much of that structure. But, if you leave them in place, you're letting nature keep those airways open. Next season, your new seedlings will send their roots down into an already prepared network, saving you the work of mechanical tilling while giving them a head start. What about the risk of disease in the roots and stalks? One of the biggest concerns gardeners raise is disease. The rule here is simple. If your tomatoes or cabbages were healthy, just leave the roots and stalks where they are. They'll enrich the soil without any problems. But if you did see issues like blight, clubroot, or rot, simply cut the plant at the soil line and remove the main stem for disposal or composting elsewhere. Even then, the fine root hairs below the soil can safely remain, still delivering structural and microbial benefits. This balanced approach means you protect your garden from disease spread while still making use of what nature has built. Leaving roots and stalks in place is really just another form of composting, only smarter. Instead of hauling everything to a pile and waiting months for it to break down, you allow decomposition to happen right in the soil where the nutrients are needed most. This in-place composting, often called in situ composting, is one of the simplest ways to keep fertility cycling within your beds. The nutrients are returned to the same spot they came from, and the soil food web thrives without interruption. Over time, this practice builds a dark, crumbly, living soil that becomes more productive each season. What you're really doing here is investing in the future of your soil. Every tomato root left in place is a deposit into your soil's fertility bank. Every cabbage stalk cut at ground level is a gift to earthworms and fungi. These little acts may seem small, but season after season, they really do transform your garden. You'll notice healthier crops, stronger root systems, improved water retention, and soil that smells, well, rich and alive. All because you stopped seeing roots and stalks as waste and started treating them as assets. So the next time you're tempted to clear your beds by yanking every plant out, just pause for a moment. Those tomato roots and cabbage stalks are more than leftovers. They are soil builders, microbial feeders, and natural tillers. By letting them stay, you're working in harmony with the cycles of nature, and honestly, setting up your garden for long-term success. If you found this guide valuable, be sure to subscribe to Gentle Herb Living for more organic gardening insights. Share this with a fellow gardener who's ready to save time, improve soil health, and grow stronger crops. Together, let's garden smarter, not harder.